This conference will now be recorded.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. I see that we have Commissioner Lawrenson out there on the virtual wall. We have Quadria staff and looks like we have some city representatives, so that's great. We got well, let's do the pledge first. I
pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I've got agenda. Do we like it? Any changes, additions, subtractions?
That's good.
Yeah, we're going at least 5 miles an hour. Commissioner Lawrenson, are you happy with the agenda?
I'm happy. I'd make a motion. We approve the agenda as submitted.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a second?
I second it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We got
Aye.
some, perfect. We got some consent items in 4, A through J. Any additions or comments on those by anybody?
No.
No? I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
You made a motion?
No, I said I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve consent items A through J.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Moving down to 5, public forum. Anybody out there in the room? Going once? Anybody out there on the virtual wall? Any emails or letters?
Received prior.
All right, closing public forum. Old business, number 6. So we got a lift station 2C upgrade discussion. All right.
Given recent supply chain delays, staff is concerned that project schedules will be extended substantially, or the pool of bidders for 2C and 1C projects will be limited due to the severe delays and the requirement that would be to carry a performance bond much longer than would traditionally be required for a project of these scales. So staff is asking the board to consider authorizing staff to acquire long lead time items such as generators and potentially control panels once we get more input from our electrical engineer for the 2C and lift station 1C upgrades, as well as seeking assistance from the consulting engineers to either to evaluate whether or not we can use an existing generator from one site that is no longer used and place it at lift station 7, and or help us put together bid and project packet to acquire a new generator for lift station 7. Yeah, and I guess another option to the district purchasing these items directly would be to consider other vendors outside of what is our standardized equipment. But I think we'll see delays similar to the ones we're seeing now across the board.
Okay. Questions, discussion from my fellow commissioners?
No, I don't. Does he need a motion for that, or is it just advising?
Some direction, and if the commissioners would entertain a motion to authorize district staff to acquire the generators, that would be great.
Is there any other in the capital list, if we look at this? So you mentioned 2C, 1C, and then 7 in terms of repurposing generator. Is there other projects down that list that we might look at and say, this is what we see in the next 6 months or whatever the time period is, but boy, this is probably the new normal for the next 18 months. Do we want to consider it comprehensively? I mean, we can do this. I'm, comfortable with this. And I'd rather, frankly, stay with we have standards for a reason, unless there is a real significant benefit to kind of go outside the line, is parts and some maintenance vendors and all that downstream stuff.
Yep. So I think in the draft comprehensive next iteration of our comprehensive plan, I do not think that we've got one lift station rehabilitation in 23, and then I don't think we've got another one until 24. So yeah, I think these 3 projects are kind of the most pressing, and don't know if the risk will extend, but if it does to that other project, then we may approach the board again.
With the motion, should we consider a percent of project amount for flexibility, or do you want to, or would you prefer to go explore this and then come back with specific?
Yeah, I think
Be better.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I think when we do acquire the equipment, it'll have to come to the board again anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Okay. Great. Any questions?
No questions.
You want me to make a run at the motion?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to phrase that.
Okay,
Right?
so-
Sorry.
No, that's all right. So I make a motion to provide staff flexibility as it relates to lift station 2C and 1C on advanced purchasing equipment, given our long lead times, and also authorization to work with our consulting engineer to explore the possibility of repurposing an existing generator, or starting to scope what a new generator would be like for lift station 7. I guess any discussion on that or amendments to that? Commissioner
Not for
Lorenzo?
me.
I would just second that fine motion you've made.
There you go. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, on to B. Linendowski, pronouncing that correctly?
Yep.
2021 DEA addendum.
so this DEA addenda is changing the number of lots from 4 lots or 4 dwellings to 2 dwellings. And it's just also establishing a latecomer basin. The DEA addenda has been reviewed by engineering and legal, and staff recommends it for approval.
Guessing the extra cost for drainage tripping over that second lot might have just a hunch.
Yeah.
Okay. Any dialogue on that one? I'd entertain a motion for it.
I'll look to Commissioner Wright to make the motion and I'll second it.
I make a motion to approve the Linendowski 2021 DEA addendum.
Fantastic.
I'll second that.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Great. Moving on to 7, new business. Authorizing our general manager to execute the Temelco. Should have brought my glasses. Biosolids hauling land application contract.
All right. So if you'll recall, a few weeks ago, we had put out, well, a few months ago now, an RFQ for biosolids hauling and land application. So that's the solids that come after we've treated down at the plant, and then we haul them away for beneficial use, where they're land applied for fertilizer, basically. Our current contract had been expired, but it was also with Tenelco. We only had one responsive bidder for that RFP. And so this contract has been reviewed by legal and is recommended by staff. The only changes from years prior is the cost went up. So that's in section 5.3. New cost would be $68.75 per wet ton. For those that meet all of the variance requirements, and then $75 per wet ton if variance requirements are not met. And the difference in that is the testing that we have to do means they have to till it in within a certain amount of time. So it costs us a little more if they have to do additional processing of it. In addition, there is a new minimum for each load hauled, which is 32 wet tons. That's actually not, it was never specifically in the contract before, but we're meeting that anyways. So even if we are a little under, we'll end up paying at least 32 wet tons. This contract is for a 2-year period with the option of an additional 2-year extension. That's all I have.
Sounds like a bargain to me to haul a ton of wet biosolids.
Yes.
Any questions or dialogue on this one?
None for me.
Would one of my fellow commissioners like to make a motion?
I make a motion to authorize the general manager to execute the Tenelco biosolids hauling and land application contract.
All right, do I have a second?
I will second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, manager reports, GM.
All righty. Our caring by sharing account has about $523 in it. That's enough to help 7 families right now. Plant flows are at 3.2 million gallons a day. That's pretty high for June, but with our
Pretty wet.
atmospheric river we expect coming, it'll probably stay a little higher for a week or so. Spring cleaning is ongoing down there. They're doing a great job. The plant staff hosted a staff lunch down there for us about a week ago, and that was great to just interact down there. And we also had our supervisor, Jim Heinzman, present this past week at the PNCWA conference. So good opportunity for us as well as him personally. So very proud of that. We also have our UV and centrifuge work that's been scheduled. So those contractors will be in later this month. And then one question for the board, if you are interested in us signing up again for the Aquafest parade. In 2019, we had the commissioners walk and hand out Tootsie Rolls and stickers, and wondering if we want to do that again.
What's the date on that?
June 3rd.
July.
July 30th, I believe.
Yes, late.
The last Saturday of July. Correct, July 30th.
Christy, my wife, especially enjoyed handing out the stickers. I'd be up for it if, you know,
The rates have gone up though. It's a little different scenario than here.
there is that. That's why we'd put you on point.
Yay, yay.
I will go with the flow. Whoever wants to, if they would like to do it, I'm in for it. If not, I'm not going to lose sleep either way. But
What's the staff feel? I mean,
Either way, you tell us.
wow. Well, we'll leave it.
No. I mean, I'm way mediocre on it, but.
Okay, then let's pass. If everybody's kind of on the, Christy be disappointed, that's fine. I disappoint all the time. It's nothing new for her.
It's been so long since the
2019
parade,
was the
yeah,
last
so
one.
it's hard to even,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I say we plan it and just go forward. You know, we'll throw candy out. They might throw it back at us, but we'll throw candy out.
All right.
Dan was a yes.
Okay. Yes, very good. Let's do it.
Okay,
All right, we're on.
perfect. That's all I got, unless you have questions.
No,
I just didn't want Krista to be mad at me.
That's a good point.
That was,
Okay.
Good point.
that was a good guilt trip, by the way.
All right, let's just roll right to the system. Yeah. See if there's anything else controversial.
All right, 46 GFCs collected so far and 116 new permits issued. That's all I got.
Any idea, how does that compare to last year this time?
We're,
We're tapering.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think we had 2 big plats finish up in February of last year, so we had a
Big spurt.
yeah.
All right. City report. Gene, you wanna share?
Yeah,
Good morning.
good morning, everybody. Good to see you. I just want to bring you up to speed on our search for a Parks and Recreation director. I might have mentioned a few weeks ago that we hired Columbia to help do the recruiting, and it was a nationwide search, and we had 28 applications, 12 that came in from other states and Canada. So today we're actually meeting. We've got the top 8 here in front of us, and the mayor, Anya, and I will be meeting with the recruiter today at lunch and going over all the applications and then moving to the next step, which is interviews. So super excited about the candidates, very, very well qualified folks. So for first Parks and Rec director here in Lake Stevens, I'm really pleased with the pool. So other than that, it's just business as usual over here.
All right, great news. Thank you. All right, commissioners report. Why don't we start on the magic wall?
Magic wall. Hey, well, thank you, everybody. First, I just want to thank staff for all the hard work. I know you guys are working under a lot of trying things with, supply chain issues and trying to meet, the certain goals and requirements we'd like to keep to. But I also really want to give a big shout out and thank you to the folks down at the plant who did host a luncheon. It was excellent. Always nice to get down there and enjoy some good food company with everybody. I know all the staff, all around came down, so it was really kind of fun. I guess what I would say is I would challenge my fellow board members to let's get together and host a lunch sometime. We can work with staff to have the board members have a nice cookout for everybody in the organization, because I think it really is kind of neat to have that kind of camaraderie throughout the organization. And that's it.
All right, well, Canalys has got that large room upstairs, Dan, and I think that would be fantastic for you to, I'll make the reservation, you cover the bill, we'll make it happen. No, it's a great idea. That's a great idea. We'll put our heads together. Commissioner Wright?
I love that idea of hosting lunch, and just for the record, my husband's a killer smoking meat person.
Wow.
So maybe we could utilize that talent. As far as my report, this next week, I'm hoping to come and be in the front office a little and just kind of get a feel for what they're going to be dealing with in the next week, with people calling in about bills and concerns, and just that's my immediate plan of just trying to get a feel for what's going on in the community and what our frontline staff people are having to deal with.
Sounds good. Thank you. The only thing I got is I just shout out to Jim. I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with the larger constituents of folks. I think that's fantastic, and I know that it's one of those things. You have the day job, and then you have the other things that a lot of times we'd like to step up and do, and oftentimes I don't. And so I wanted to acknowledge that effort and say that I appreciate that. That's everything I have. Do we have an executive session today?
We do.
Okay.
We have 2 items, and our attorney Jordan is prepared to announce those for us.
All right, fantastic.
I would say probably about 20 minutes should cover.
All right, looks like we're about at 9:20. It'll give us time to lock the meeting down. So, yep, take care, Gene. Jordan, you want to do the wonderful preamble with the .I?
Sounds good. All right, the Lake Stevens Sewer District Commission will now move into executive session pursuant to RCW 4230-110 subsection 1 subsection I to discuss with legal counsel representing the agency matters relating to pending litigation to which the agency is a party, and to discuss litigation or legal risks of a proposed action or current practice that the sewer district has identified as public discussion of that litigation or legal risk is likely to result in an adverse legal or financial consequence to the district. The executive session will conclude at 9:40. At the conclusion, the commission will adjourn the regular board meeting with no announcements or action taken. Is that right? That we'll adjourn after?
Correct.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right. Thank you.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right, we're back in regular session, and as previously discussed, no action to be taken. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn our meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you,
Aye.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.